Hi boys, today we are going to be remaking one of my favorite series. It's going to be the Raze map guides. We're going to be doing other duelists as well. Meta changes, nerfs, all those things have happened. So they're kind of outdated, you know what I mean? So we're going to be remaking them, and today we're going to start probably with Raze's best map in the pool, and it's going to be Split. Split is a classic Raze map. If you play Raze, you probably play on this map. It is so good, but there's a lot of little things we're gonna have to go over here to optimize it, make it, you know, the best you can make it. And yeah, hopefully by the end of it, we can make Split one of your strongest maps. So let's start off on defense, which is going to be the easy side of this map. So we're going to be starting in this area here. This area is going to be your best friend in this map. Now, the key thing here with A is we don't want to be down here, right? We don't want to be the A site player. Why do we not want to be the A site player? We want freedom to move around the map, and if we're anchoring site, we can't really do that. Also, this area here, there's a lot of options, right? So the first, we're just going to start off, let's say the enemy are rushing here, right? You're just going to start off in this area here, and the reason we start here is because we have a really nice nade, right? The nade, as you can see, it will cover up the whole choke. It will just murder anyone. It will get a lot of value in this choke, okay? It doesn't really matter where you throw it. You throw it a little bit more closer to this side of the wall if you want to land it very much on the edge. You throw a little bit further if you want it to land a little bit further, right? Really, really, really strong area here. The amount of nade value you are going to get here depends on when you throw the nade, okay? So a lot of the times the game is going to happen, the enemy are going to, let's say they're going to breach stun up here, which we're going to talk about a little bit, but they're going to toss some sort of utility up there, they're going to smoke here, and you're just going to be standing here with a nade, right? What are you doing here? What are you looking for? What is the key to getting a max value here, okay? So from the enemy perspective, right, their smoker is going to start the round, he's probably going to throw out a smoke straight away, they're going to be doing this, you know, they're going to be clearing these areas, and then they're going to sit in a smoke, okay? That's probably what's going to happen, nine times out of 10, unless it's very, very low elo and your smoker isn't very good. That's what's going to happen, okay? And then the enemy are going to invest utility, and they're going to flash, they're going to jet dash, they're going to do all this, okay? We are waiting for them to fully commit, okay? So let's say we're standing here with our nade in a smoke, right? We can't even see anything. What we're waiting for is a sky flash, a breach flash, an omen flash, anything, or a jet dash, anything that says, hey guys, we're fully committed now. You drop that nade as they do that, and boom. Either if they jet dashed already, that guy is stuck out on his own. He can't do anything while that nade's going off. His whole team, they're gonna have to back up because there's a nade in the way, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be very, very, very valuable for you. You're going to get multi-kills from this, and a lot of the time you're going to throw this nade and you're going to run out of the smoke. You're going to catch anyone who's trying to hide around here, and you're absolutely going to murder them. Crazy value, and a lot of the times, even if no one has ran out yet, while this nade is going off, you can drop down, and that drop is completely silent because of that nade, and now you're in this position, which... pretty good position. You can also drop into this position then. If they are going for this execute, you are going to just get big value here. Now, let's say the enemies are, you know, they're not really hitting A very often. Maybe they're playing mid more often. Maybe they're playing B more often, right? We're going to start the round on this box, right? And we're going to just do a little jump spot. If we see nothing, right, you don't even have to look. You just look at the minimap right now. So if you see an enemy on the minimap, they'll show up as a question mark. If you see anyone, you can stay around. If not, no worries. We can just dip straight through vents, right? Very, very fast rotates. Now, if we get info that the enemy are going B, and we know the enemy have a tendency to kind of lurk around mid, we can rotate through spawn. It's going to take a little bit longer. Again, mid is going to be high risk, high reward for a lot of this. We're going to talk about middle in a little bit, but it's going to be high risk, high reward for going through vents. Sometimes, you know, if you have a sage wall, it's just easy, you just run past. Sometimes the enemy cypher, he's got to, you know, lurk around, look for timings, and just be cringe. So that is our favorite area there if the enemy are running for an execute. Other than that, we can default just on top of this box, right? Really good, as you can see, you can find this angle here, you can catch people. And if you're the enemy, you're never going to expect this, right? You're going to walk up like this, and then you're going to clear this, right? Now they can see you. You're going to be watching over there, you're up there, free kill. Especially Vandal, one tap, boom. Other than that, we also, like, that's the kind of spot we can play here. The only thing you have to watch out for in this area is Breach will fuck your shit up, man. He will bend you over and do what he wants. So Breach is scary. Other than that, Omen Flash, a lot of the times you can actually jump over it. I think I made a YouTube short about this. You can literally just sit on this box, jump over the Omen Flash, and then just kill whoever is coming up after you. Pretty good. This box, very strong. The thing with the Breach stun is it can't cover the whole area. So a lot of the times the Breaches will either put it to this side or to this side, and you can avoid it in this corner sometimes. It's a little bit inconsistent, so I wouldn't stress too much about it. A lot of times if they do have a Breach, I will just respect it and I'll kind of play back here, waiting for a Jet to dash up on me or a Raze satchel and just get your free kill. But if they're not breach stunning this area, this is insane spot. We really like this spot. Again, you can do this jump spot and just rotate instantly. You see Jinggg do this all the time. We watch a lot of Jinggg on the channel. I'm sure you've seen plenty of the Jinggg videos. But yeah, that is kind of the main way I would control this area. Very good, very strong. Sometimes if you're doing an eco, you can just start down there behind that pillar. You know, if you have a judge, this area really annoying to deal with. And for a retake, you can do a couple things, right? If you have ramps control, you can come from here and you can try and take sight back from main, which is going to be really annoying for the enemies, especially good if you have rotates coming in from heaven. So you have heaven, you have CT, and you have here. Really hard to stop that as a retake. Other than that, if you're in heaven and they're trying to plant the bomb, you can actually aim a nade right here. As you can see, the way I line this up is this corner just kind of come down a little bit from both sides. And as you can see, this will kill anyone trying to plant in this area if they don't get off. If they get off, you know, you delay the plant. If they don't, you get a free kill. We're going to take a free kill. Other than that, obviously, if they plant open, you can just nade. It's simple, straightforward. For the very hard corner, again, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. We can try a running throw. Running throw would kind of get them off the bomb in that corner. But they're the kind of nades you have. Now, my favorite way to retake this, especially if I have a rocket, is very fun. We're going to toss our nade here. And then we're going to instantly just double satchel out like this. Very nice. This whole area gets guarded. So they're going to have to like run into this area or run away. Either way, you have them with a rocket. A lot of times it's going to make the enemy group up. It's going to be really good. Even if you don't have a rocket, I don't hate this either. Especially like if you have a judge or something as well, it's going to be really nice. But you just kind of fly out here. I messed it up. But you fly out into here and they won't even hear your satchels a lot of the time because the nade covers the audio. So it's pretty good for that retake. But we are actually, there is one more thing we're going to talk about. It's kind of pushing A main, right? A main push, I don't like it too much. You're not Jet, you know what I mean? Like pushing up in here, I would only do it if I have good util backing me up. So let's say I have a breach here and he's stunning down this line. Then maybe I'll go for a push, you know what I mean? If I don't, or maybe even an Omen Flash, it's kind of nice. You can walk up and you can toss your nade down here, something like this. Try and kill anyone hiding in this corner. Other than that, I only really like this if I have a rocket. And the way I'll rocket is kind of like this. Gives you a nice, quick access, and anyone here, you can get multi-frags from this. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. The only thing, of course, is the info. You don't know what you're getting into. So sometimes you can waste your rocket by doing this. But even if you do waste your rocket, you have a very quick access to flank here, and we can jump down the ropes and go on a quick flank. So either way, it's pretty good. You clear the whole area. You get info on this side of the map. It's not bad. I would recommend just blind rocketing instead of like waiting for info there. If you do want to make a super aggressive play, sometimes you will just want to change the pace of the game. Just don't be afraid to do it blind. Don't wait for the info. Otherwise, it's going to be too late for you to do it. But yeah, that's going to be A heaven. It's going to, again, we are going to spend the majority of the time on defense here. Other than that, we're going to be spending over kind of these areas. But yeah, we'll go over them now. All right, so next we're going to talk about vents here. Vents is a very high risk, high reward spot. It can be very punishing to play. You'll see a lot of enemies will just smash util here. If you watch pro play especially, they will just lob util in here, flashes, mollies, everything is going to come here. There's going to be constant smokes. So how do we play here to actually get value? Because we can get crazy value from this area if everything goes right. But again, it's a little bit of an inconsistent area just by design, because everyone will be sending util in here. There's going to be dogs, there's going to be flashes, there's going to be mollies, there's going to be everything, man. They're gonna throw the kitchen sink at you sitting in this place. But what can we do to get value? Because the reason they're doing that is because this area is strong and annoying to deal with, okay? So this area is very nice if you want to just take a peek off spawn, right? Barriers drop. You just take a quick shot with an op. One of the best spots for the op, probably the best spot for the op on the map. You can also like come out then One of my favorite ways to play this is the barrier is going to be right here. So you're going to instantly come out like this and hide behind this box. This is insane if you have a Sage wall and he's like on this wall baiting for you. A lot of the times they're going to be so focused on this Sage that they're not going to focus on you, and then you just get multi-kills. And the wall, if it's placed properly, will give you a little bit of extra cover to make it so they can't see you first. Because, of course, if the enemy are like this, they can see you before you can see them, which is really annoying, but a lot of the time they don't actually have time to clear you here like that. So this spot can be great, especially if you get smoked off here, and let's say you also smoke here. You can toss your nade, and then you can sneak your way out into this corner. That way, the enemy will hear the nade, and they'll be like, oh, he's in vents, and then boom. You know, a little bit of mind games. They don't exactly know where you've went. You can also play on this little off angle here, which is really annoying. If the enemy is starting to come up, sometimes they will like come in here, and they will, you know, they'll start coming up like this, and then boom. You kill them. I don't like this one as much. What I do like to do with this one is start on this side, like this, maybe with an op, take a shot, and then satchel out. Kind of like a mini jet dash. One of the best things you can do a lot of the time is they will smoke this, and they will spam util in here, and if you can creep your way back into the smoke, you can kind of peek out as they're scaling into heaven, and that's where like a lot of the power of this position will come from, is getting good timings through the smoke here, where you walk out and you just mow down a bunch of people. That is why this area is so annoying and why there's going to be so much util used here, because when they're scaling, they can't watch you, and even if they do watch you, they're walking backwards like this, and you get first shot majority of the time. If any enemies get stuck in here, they're fucked. Right? Let's say he's hiding here, you can nade here. Right. Nade would be a bit more like this. Right. That will kill him if he doesn't rush you. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a very, very good area, of course, as well. You can always rocket out of the smoke as they're going up. Boom. That is devastating. That's round winning, you know what I mean? Rocket is going to be very, very good on this map. There's a lot of spots for it, but that's mainly going to be vents here. The big thing as well I can say is don't be afraid to give up vents, right? If they're spamming so much util here and you can't really find any value, you can just back up over this way, and a lot of the times I will just run back and I will help my heaven player from just rotate like this. You can see it doesn't take that long, and boom, we're here, right? Doesn't take that long, and you also have very good spots here we're going to talk about in a second. But yeah, don't be afraid to give it up. That's the key here, right? Sometimes you can't hold it, so don't hold it. Don't sacrifice yourself. If you've tried it like 3 times this game, nothing's working, there's always a guy just standing here holding the smoke. Don't force it, you know what I mean? Just rotate at that point. So the next area will be B Heaven. Now B Heaven is another really good spot. This will be kind of your second favorite place to play other than A Heaven. You will find yourself here a lot, especially if you're on eco and you have a judge or a bookie. They're both incredibly strong on this map, as you probably know if you've ever played the map. But a really good spot for the judge will be like here, bang bang. Or if you can get yourself into mail as well. If you have a teammate baiting for you here, this spot is really annoying to deal with as an attacker. So that's another really good spot. But a lot of the times here, I like to play this area when I have a teammate with me, right? So in ranked, a lot of the time, even to this day, you're going to have a Sage on this map. People just like Sage on this map. I think it's just a comfort pick for him. But Sage will put up a wall here and boom, that's easy. So what you can do then is you can jump on the wall and you can kind of jiggle peek out if you want, or if the enemy are expecting that, you tried that, you already died, just don't do it again until maybe like 5 rounds later. Maybe you can catch someone off guard. But what you will do then is you'll kind of play around this area at the start, right? We'll throw a few pop shots in, see if we can try and get something going. If we can't, a lot of the time, especially if there is this Sage wall here, or even if the enemy just want to use a Skydog or anything, the enemy will come out like this, and let's say they do shoot the wall, right? They will come out here, and then they will reload in this corner, okay? Or if they do a Skydog, they will do it from this corner. Guy very good on this map as well. That's why we're going to talk about her mainly. But all we have to do then is toss a nade off this wall. And that will pretty much kill anyone who's hiding in that corner, right? As you can see, you're kind of fucked, right? This is very, very strong if you do have that Sage, because Sage can also throw a slow orb, and they can't move, even if they try. So that's going to be very good. This whole area is going to be really strong with util combos, especially in the higher elos. In lower elos, the util combos won't matter as much. It's mainly about the good timings, but in higher elos, these util combos will just be devastating. So like, let's say they get into vents, or not in vents, into mail, sorry. And you have a Sage slow here, and you toss a nade in that corner, they're dead, right? You can also throw that nade and then peek with it as the enemy are trying to run away. Pretty strong, especially again, Sage slows, fade things, anything at all to combo with this, breach stuns. It's going to be devastating, right? But that's the thing, we have the options to fall back, right? So we can play a bit more aggressive up here, or we can fall back a little bit. Maybe we even want to hide in that corner instead of falling back. Play here, and we can fall back over to this position here. If we have a teammate over here, we can do a little bit of a like 3-2-1 peek. Enemy take your teammate over here, we'll take contact, like here. Bang, bang. And then you, whenever they take contact, you'll swing. And boom. Really good value, really nice. Also, just have to be careful that you're exposed to main, but a lot of the times you're going to have an anchor playing here, so you're pretty chill. So that's kind of some of the best ways to play this area. The other thing is, let's say you do rotate, like I was saying before. If you rotate to this position, a lot of the times a good nade will be, you just kind of jiggle peek here, toss the nade up like this. Just going to be a nice nade to block vision, so you can do a little peek, see what's going on, see if you can try and retake heaven. You can even throwing nade it. As you can see, that will throw it a little bit deeper. Depends where you want the nade, where you will place it on this wall. You're going to have to figure that out yourself for whatever situation you're in. This retake nade can also be really nice. It can cut off people. So let's say their jet is scaled up already and their team hasn't. Boom. That nade will cut off his backup and you can take a 1v1. So use that nade to try and get yourself some 1v1s, try and get yourself some kills. It's going to be really strong. Other than that, this is also my favorite area to play for B. That's why this is so long right now, because B site is not very friendly to Raze. Same kind of thing as A. We don't really want to be the anchor here. We want to be the second man there. So let's say we have an Omen anchoring here. He's playing with his paranoia, waiting for anything. We're going to be the second guy here, right? So we can start in this area, which is also helping us in heaven. And some of the reasons again is going to be the same as A, because we have some really good nades for stall here. So same thing, let's say a breach stun comes out, or a breach flash, or some kind of jet dash, anything, it's Raze satchels. We can just toss our nade in this choke here, and it is going to completely disrupt their whole execute off one nade. It's going to be really annoying. It's going to get you some multi-kills sometimes, just very, very strong, right? A nade that is not inconsistent is going to be this one, right? So you're standing here in this area and you're going to see these pillars, all right? These guys, 1, 2. We're going to aim at the second pillar and we're going to aim below it. You throw the nade at that and that will land behind this box and that will kill anyone trying to plant the bomb behind that box. So again, just kind of aim it around this area here. It will land behind the box and absolutely murder anyone who's trying to plant the bomb. So that is a very, very, very strong nade, of course. Other than that, we can also just like right-click nades down here in case anyone's hiding down here. You can also boombot down here. Just kind of throw them out and hope for the best. Let's do it like this. And then all you have to do is try and like clear some of these areas. Boom. Nice retake. And we also have a great ult spot here for a retake, which is running out like this, coming around like this, and you have full access to everywhere. You can also do a little change to that and you can come out from the other side just in case the enemies start catching on to you. Right? Like this. Get a little bit more cover. Sometimes a little bit less cover depending where they're playing. But really, really nice spot here. You can do whatever you want with the satchels and the rocket up here. It's really nice. And other than that, for B site, again, the only time I'm playing here is if I'm playing a weird angle, like on a box somewhere. Like maybe I'm playing up here. Maybe I'm playing up here for some reason, right? Just trying to catch someone off guard. Or maybe I'm playing on this box over here. Sometimes you can even play on new box over here. Just weird, strange angles. But the key here is someone else is always going to be here. Unless you're playing this spot, right? This spot is actually pretty good to anchor from. It's just going to be annoying, strange. But again, the best thing you can have is like an Omen playing here with his flash. Reach playing here with his flash. Anything like that. Other than that, we're going to be pushing B main sometimes, right? We're going to get some util coming out here in B lobby, and we're going to go crazy with it, right? A lot of times I'll do this with a rocket, especially with a rocket. It's going to be really nice. And the reason we're doing this is it takes a lot of pressure off of B. We can get some rotates towards A, and we also get a lot of info. And if the enemy are grouped here and you have a rocket, you are going to pop off, right? Easy kills for you. And that's pretty much going to be all of defense. Again, the retake is going to mainly be coming from heaven. And yeah, let's move on to attack. All right, so we're going to start out on A here for attack. A is going to be pretty much our favorite site to attack. It is a lot of the time easier than B, and mid is also going to be pretty important too in certain games, but A is very, very good pretty much in ranked because you can run it down on A lot easier than anywhere else because there's multiple entry paths here. It's going to be nice. So we're going to first talk about the most simple and straightforward way. Let's say we don't want heaven and we just want to hit site, okay? So we're going to start the round, the barrier is around here, and we're just going to start the round with our nade, like pre-round, and we're going to throw our nade here. If the enemy have a cypher, okay? Why are we gonna do this? Because we don't want to get hit by trips. Trips are annoying and they're not fun and they're cringe and all that stuff, right? We're gonna do that. Hopefully, if we have a cypher ourselves, he's gonna cage this off first, so we don't care, right? We're going to run and we're gonna jump spot here and we're going to do whatever. Now, if they didn't have a cypher and you still have your nade, you also have options with your nade. A lot of times I will like to nade here before I entry, and we're gonna talk about why, but first we're gonna like that, right? So we're going to wait for our smokes to go down. Hopefully our smokes are already down if we're planning a rush. And if they are down, hopefully our omen is going to flash here from here, right? That is ideal, right? If that happens, we are chilling. Why? Because we are going to entry like this, right? That's going to be really nice, as you can see. This area is going to be flashed first. We're going to be chilling. Same thing with a breach stun, anything like that. If we don't have those agents, it gets a little bit more annoying to try and do a play like this, but those agents are pretty popular on this map, so breach, omen, good, right? They are our friends. They're gonna help us get out here and actually get kills, right? Anyone hiding behind here dies. You also land here and you're able to take this fight, right? That's what we like. Only thing you got to be careful of is flower. Annoying as fuck it is, right? So, you know, what we can do then, if the enemy do like to play flower, is we just nade flower, right? We have that option. So my favorite entry paths here are going to be this one. It's going to be this one, where you come out like this, and you hide in this corner, right? Can be very good, especially if the enemy are on eco, and there's a guy hiding here. That's another good spot to nade, by the way, is that corner. We can also nade CT smoke. What else we can do is we can nade over here, and then we can satchel towards our nade, and then we can quickly take elbow. We're only going to take a little bit of chip damage from our nade, so it's going to be worth it. But that way we can have a nice easy wraparound. As our team are coming out this way, we're coming out this way, and boom. We can do the little bit weird one where we satchel up into heaven. Now this play is really, really good if the enemy are not expecting you to do this. You will take, a lot of the times, there's going to be a guy hiding in this smoke and you will take a weird fight, but this is so strong when it works out. And then you can come and push out of the smoke and you can take even more fights. Really strong little play there. Well, you know, you can change up what you're doing by changing it to that one. And that's some of my favorite entry paths here. Other than that, we also can take ramps, right? Ramps control is pretty important on this map. As you can probably see, when you don't take ramps, map becomes a lot harder. So how do we take ramps, right? We're going to take whatever util we have at our disposal. Breach stun, omen flash, any flash at all, just sky flash, anything we can get to flash this upper area here. It's going to really help us, and we're going to start the round by instantly satcheling up there with whatever util we have, and we're going to take this fight. Same thing I was talking about on our defense, where we can play back. You got to be careful of that, of enemies playing super far back, but a lot of the times they will just end up smoking this and you're chilling. You have the area, okay? But if not, you will take a fight. There could be a guy in this box, could be a guy hiding behind this box, and there could be a guy close here, right? They're the areas we have to be scared of. If we do it fast enough, like straight away off the start of the round, they can't be hiding here, so we are fine. Now, once we take this area, it's all about taking the next area, right? How do we take the next area? A lot of the times, I will boombot in here, like this. That will clear out this area. And then we only have to worry about this area. If you still have your nade, you can nade over here, like that. That will stop any annoying people there. Or if someone shoots that boombot, you can nade over there, right? And if they did smoke this, we're going to kind of need a flash, or we're going to need to peek off of one of our pieces of util. If the enemy have one guy here and one guy here, it's going to be really hard, right? But a lot of times you can take that risk. So we'll do this boombot, and we'll do this. And then if that boombot scans anyone, we swing around, try and take that fight real quick. If he drops down, we're going to toss an aid down there. See if he's hiding on this side. And then boom. We have this area then, right? Again, there could be a guy here, but you will just jump on this box, clear this area, and now we're like this. When we are doing this play, we want our smokes like here, and we want our smoke here. That's going to be the most optimal for you. And if you do end up getting a kill, you'll even see a lot of really high elo players will end up looking for another one. They'll try and like push up either through the vents or through CT. If you can get another one, a real quick kill, a little wraparound kill here, definitely go for it. You will probably make mistakes and you will probably overpeak sometimes, but it's all there for learning. You can learn to pull it back a little bit, but don't be afraid to do those kind of plays. You'll see again, we're gonna have a couple of clips rolling here of, let's say, Jinggg doing a double satchel out here. His teammates might get a kill over towards site, and he will just push up into spawn straight away, instantly. No thoughts about it, right? And he will look for more kills. Any rotators coming through because it's more unexpected, especially if it's fast. Really nice plays here towards A. Now on towards mid. Mid is going to be especially valuable in once you start getting to the really high ranks, or if you're playing Premier or anything. Mid is going to be a big part of taking this map, and we're going to want like 3 people here. The best kind of way to attack on split is having like a 1-3-1 setup, right? What that means, you have 1 player over here. It's usually going to be a Cypher or a Viper. You got 3 players in mid, that's going to be your pack, and you got 1 player over towards B lobby just to make sure no one pushes out. So what do we want to achieve in this area, okay? We want to either perform some kind of B split with our guy in main, or we just want to take this area off them, make them feel pressure. Maybe we leave a guy in vents, something like this, right? But for the most part in ranked, you're going to just be doing like a B split for the most part, right? Going through vents can be very risky because of this area here. But sometimes the game state is going to call for a split kind of thing, so you always have the option there, but your lurker will usually be over there. But anyway, we're going to just make it about a B split, because that's going to be the easiest and most consistent way to do it in ranked, because it's not very coordinated. So what do? We are going to always want to start on the sewer side. It's just a better fight in general. You can do a jiggle here and a jiggle like this, right? When you come out here, it's a lot more annoying. Sometimes you're going to get opt. Sometimes your smokes won't go down quick enough. So to avoid all those annoyances, we're just going to start on sewers 99% of the time if we're coming towards mid. And then we're going to get vents smoked, okay? Once vents get smoked, we can do that little jiggle peek here. Make sure there's no one here. And we can come out, right? Then a lot of the times the enemy are going to smoke here. We're going to boombot out like this. Or we're going to get a skydog. Anything like this. But we're gonna send some util towards vents, okay? If we have a skydog, that's great because it can clear here and then try and clear into this area. And what we want to try and do here is swing off that util, see if we can catch a fight from anyone, especially any of our initiator util is gonna be really good here. You notice I don't really boombot as much into vents or into mail because vents is too scary, and I want to make sure that no one's gonna walk out that smoke as I'm trying to do this. But you can see these fights a little bit annoying sometimes, but if you can make your way into this area, it's a lot easier because now we can do a little play like this, right? We're gonna jiggle peek, make sure there's no one watching us here. We're gonna nade like this, a little bit shallower. We're gonna nade like this, and it's gonna land behind this box here. Gonna kill anyone behind that box. And at this point, it's kind of go time, right? We want to swing out. Maybe we have a breach stun, which is going to be nice, but we're going to swing out a little bit like this. And hopefully this area is now smoked. What we can do to make this easier on us if we've used all our util is I will just throw satchels at this smoke. Make sure no one is trying to swing out the smoke as we're scaling up. And then we have a really good B split, right? We got a guy, hopefully it's our smoker playing from over here, right? Making sure he checks all these areas. And we got all of our team coming from this area, right? As the duelist, you're probably going to be out more like this. If you still do manage to have both of your satchels, you can also just fly around, or you can stay up there. Completely up to you, depends on the situation. Because this place is not going to be a bad spot for post plant. And this is going to be really good because we get heaven control. We get the bomb planted here. We can loop CT. If the round, let's say that it drops to a 2v2 or 1v1, we can always loop CT and just have the plant in the open, just like that. Nice for us. Easy, simple, straightforward. B split, it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty consistent if you can't get into A. And I find it more consistent than a B just execute, right? Which we're going to talk about next. So a straight up B execute can be really difficult because a lot of sentinels are going to play on this site, and a lot of the time they're going to have 2 people in tower and 1 person on site. That's like the kind of default for split defense. So this site can be very frustrating to attack, but sometimes the situation will call for it. If the enemy starts stacking towards A or anything like that, B executes can be good, right? So a lot of the time off the start, you can start like this with a teammate behind you here. Let's say I got my bro here, right? We're going to start like this, and we're going to make sure no one peeks us. Right. Other thing you can do is waste util here, but it's a bit of a waste. If you know the enemy like to push into this area, you can just have an omen flash for you, and you can double satchel on this guy straight away. Right? And we just kill that guy. Easy. But sometimes it can be just, especially if the game's a little bit slower, it's easier to just start like this. You don't waste any util. And then you can creep up just as a full contact, right? That's going to be really nice if you can do that. But again, sometimes you're going to have to use that util. You're going to have to be a little bit louder. Other than that, we're going to usually use a nade somewhat like this if they have a cypher. You can throw it a little bit deeper for the other trip. Sometimes ciphers will have one trip here and one trip here. So you can do either of those nades. They're going to be fine. Anything to kill that trip is going to be good. And then once we get to this point, we have our 2 entry paths, right? It's pretty much all we have is 2. So you can do a satchel out like this, right? Where you have some kind of flash come in and you go out with the flash and you just, you take fights like this, right? That's going to be simple, straightforward. Other than that, you can try and land behind the pillar. And if you land behind the pillar, you can do a nade towards kind of around here, right? Just kind of trying to get it around that area, just stopping anyone from taking a peek at you. And then after this point, you don't really go any further if you come from this side. That's kind of as deep as you'll go. Other than that, you might push up a little bit like this and do some things like this, right? But we want to try and clear out this whole area. The other entry path you can do is to get like an omen flash or a breach stun around this area. And you can go out like this, right? You can tell it's a little bit riskier if there's anyone out on rafter here, but you do get covered if you make it all the way over there. Or you can just do a single satchel and you get over behind this box and you try and come out like this, right? That's kind of the main areas you'll be doing that at. Again, if this guy is playing here and he gets breach stunned or anything, you just kill him for free. But just always be careful of the backup here, because there will be people trying to push you from this area. That's pretty much it, right? Rockets anywhere in between here. Don't be afraid to use them. Simple, straightforward. Post plant, you're going to be just kind of playing around this area. A lot of the times you can get a good loop going, especially if you plant in this spot here. It's going to be really nice. You can try and, like, you do your entry, maybe you get to low HP, and then you go for a little re-wrap towards heaven. And that's pretty much going to be it for Split. So let me know if you all enjoyed this. You want to see all the other maps remade. You want to see the other agents as well that I've made guides on. You want to see map guides on them? Let me know. Some of them are a little bit more niche, but some of them you can play them on every map. Like Jet, you pretty much play her on every map. ISO, I'm pretty sure you can play him on every map. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them that are going to be pretty strong on all the maps. So yeah, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you later.